Wow. Nigeria, Africa, world. Sometimes we think and we are wondering why, what's going on? Are we going to survive it? Are we going to pass this passage? Is this season going to pass? I have a good news for you. There is nothing that has a beginning that does not have an end. Surely there is an end for everything. I want to lift anybody and everybody's heart this evening, or this morning, or this afternoon, or midnight. I don't mind the time in which you're listening. People listen to She Matters from all the parts of the world. Every part of the world, let me put it that way. So, I'm lifting your spirit. Some people are in Turkey now. They just had a crash. I saw building crushing like pack of cards, and it's like, what? Wow. I'm sure a lot of people, your heart is shaking and rumbling. Forget that one. It's a sign that Jesus is coming soon. I don't try to be religious on my program, but whether you are conscious of it or not, trumpets will sound. End will come. Àlùjọ náà wà. Mo ń sọ pé gbogbo wa ọkàn wa ti ń mì. Ẹ̀mí ẹlòmíì ń mì nítorí pé kí ni a wà ní ayé tí ò wá dúró mọ́. Ṣé náírà la fẹ́ sọ ni? Ṣé epo la fẹ́ sọ ni? Ṣé ilé tó ń dàwó la fẹ́ sọ ni? Ṣé àìfọkànbalẹ̀ la fẹ́ sọ ni? Mo mọ̀ pé ọkàn àwọn èèyàn kan ń mì báyìí. Mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ wípé ọkàn wa ẹ̀ bá mì jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Nǹkan tó ṣe pàtàkì níbi tá à ń lọ. Àtìpó àti àlejò ni mo jẹ́ níbí. All of us are shoppers. We came to shop. Àwa nájà ni. Ayé lọjà, ọ̀run nílé. Tẹ́ bá ń gbọ́ mi ní àkókò yìí, mi mọ àkókò tó bọ́ sí tẹ́ fi ń gbọ́ mi o. Mo fẹ́ kẹ́ mọ̀ wípé àwa nájà ni. Oníkálukú á dẹ̀ lọ lé. Kò sẹ́ni tó ń sùn sọ́jà. Life is a marketplace. Tẹ́ bá ti rò jinlẹ̀ dáadáa pé ń ṣe lẹ wá nájà láyé yìí, ẹ ro àròjinlẹ̀ kẹ́ tó gbé ìgbésí ayé yín. Ẹ dẹ̀ mọ̀ wípé Jésù sọ nǹkan kan, ó ní èmi lọ́nà àti ìyè. Mi kì í fẹ́ ṣe ẹ̀sìn lórí ètò yìí, ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan tí mo dúró fún mo láti dúró fún ni. Gbogbo yín mọ̀ pé pásítọ̀ ni mí. Mo fẹ́ ká fọkàn balẹ̀. Kò sí nǹkan tó níbẹ̀rẹ̀ tí ò kí ń lópin. Lálá tó rókè ó máa sọ̀kalẹ̀. We are not going to continue like that. Yorùbá ní ó ń ṣọmọ lóòkú bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọn ò ní sí máa ń wò bí ẹ. So a time of rest is coming. Personally, with all my convictions, I see a new Nigeria in the hands of God Almighty. This country, especially Nigeria, we have so much. We are assets in this country. Gifts, talents, dynamism. So much is loaded in all of us in Nigeria. Africa is not toy. Africa is deep, powerful. God is a wise investor. He cannot invest so much in us, in our generation, as an Africans, and will just waste us like that. Aláwọ̀ dúdú ní ìwà. Ṣé kí n sọ pé wà ní? A ní ìwà, àwa la ní culture. Ká dúpẹ́, ká kúnlẹ̀, ká dọ̀bálẹ̀. Ìyẹn tí wọ́n kọ́ gbogbo àwọn ọgbọ́n, òye. Ó wà ń bì. Ẹ máa wò pé kí ló dé tí a ṣe bí àwọn aláwọ̀ funfun. Bóyá jọ̀kọ̀ máa sọ̀rọ̀ lórí yẹn. My name is funkeadetuberu. This is She Matters on Fresh FM 102.9 Àkúrẹ́. Ìyẹn ará Àkúrẹ́, I celebrate you. Thank you for listening to She Matters. But we have a leader, we have an icon, we have a man with a large heart. He's the father of Fresh FM Nigeria. His name is Dr. Ifele. On his behalf, I welcome you to She Matters on Fresh FM 102.9 Àkúrẹ́. Today is going to be a blast. It's going to be awesome. Fresh FM is going to be a blast. Somebody said Blast FM. If you Blast FM, select Fresh FM la wambi. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be amazing. Ẹ jẹ́ n sáré kí yín Yorùbá, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń gbọ́ mi. Orúkọ mi ni Olúfúnkẹ́ Adétúbẹ̀rù. Mo ń kí gbogbo yín sí orí ètò She Matters. Ìní máa gba nǹkan gbìn, ó máa gbóná, ó máa dùn, ó máa lárinrin. Mi ò fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ dá program mi gbọ́ o. Tẹ́ bá ń gbọ́ mi, ibikíbi tẹ́ bá ti ń gbọ́ mi, ẹ má dá gbọ́. Yorùbá ní ẹyẹ ò kí ń fi apá kan fò mi ì fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ fapá kan fò lénìí, mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ bá mi sọ fún gbogbo àwọn èèyàn tó ń gbọ́ yín. Torí ẹ̀yin grandma, ẹ̀yin grandpa, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ fẹ́ kí n sọ Yorùbá mo ṣe ń sọ Yorùbá o torí mo fẹ́ràn yín gan. Mo dẹ̀ fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kẹ́ ẹ kọ́gbọ́n lórí program yìí. Ṣẹ́rí tí mi ì bá ṣetán lénìí máa continue lọ́sẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀. Ìgbà míì wà tó yẹ pé tí n bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn èèyàn máa ń wò ó pé ẹnu ẹ̀ dùn ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ máa ń ṣe bákan lára. Yorùbá ní onílé ìtọ́nà sílẹ̀ tara ẹ̀ náà ń sọ fún. Ẹlòmíì lè pa rédíò kì í ṣe gbogbo yín náà rán mi sí. Ẹni tó bá rán yàn iṣẹ́ ó lè yàn bẹ̀rù èèyàn bẹ̀rù ẹni tó máa jíṣẹ́ fún. But tẹ bá wo lọ wò bọ̀ ẹni tó bá mọnú rò tó fẹ́ lọ lé ọgbọ́n kó lọ kọ́gbọ́n kò ní sọ fún ọgbọ́n kó dákẹ́. Òmùgọ̀ àgọ̀ ló máa ń ní kí ọgbọ́n dákẹ́. It's only a fool that does not respect wisdom. Yorùbá gan sọ pé ibi téèyàn bá ti yẹ kéèyàn bá ọgbọ́n tó bá bá àgọ̀ ń bẹ̀ ó máa ń dùn yàn. Ó wá ní oore ọ̀fẹ́ láti jókòó sábẹ́ ọgbọ́n wá tún fẹ́ máa gbọ̀n kiri. Kò sí nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. So gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ọ̀rọ̀ òtítọ́ máa ń gún bí ẹ̀gún tó máa ń korò fún bí ewúro ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ bára yín sọ̀rọ̀. Àwọn kan ò ní gbọ́ o. Yorùbá dẹ̀ dùn ó ní bá gúnyán nú ewé bá ro kànú èpo ẹ̀pà ẹni tí òkùnkùn ní yóò ní yó. Ṣùgbọ́n mo mọ̀ pé ẹ̀yin fans mi tẹ̀ ń gbọ́ mi all over the world ẹ fẹ́ràn òótọ́ torí ẹ̀ lẹ ṣiṣẹ́ ń gbọ́ mi. I celebrate all of you but I want you to do me a favour, don't listen alone. Please tell your friends, your neighbors, your acquaintances, anybody, everybody, because what I'm bringing today is not something that you want to play with. It's not that I'm salivating you. You know me, I don't flatter people. The Bible told me that if you flatter somebody, you are going to die before your time. So I don't want to die before my time. I want to live long. Relevant in living long ni o. Tí n bá ti ní wúlò mọ́ fọ́lọ́run ká tètè wá lọlé kò sí ní tá à ń ṣe ń bí. But the point is as long as I'm here till I see my creator, I want to be eternally relevant in the lives of men and my listeners. And that's why whatever I do, I'm intentional. Please, I don't want you to have an idea that this woman, her mouth is sweet, she's always No. I brought a practical case to you today to listen to her story. I've said it before, let me say it again. Where two elephants fight, some grass don't suffer, some grass dies, depending on the length of the fight. If two elephants are fighting for 25 years, when you are fighting, even if you are playing football on a field for 5 years, grass cannot grow there. You play football there every day, not to talk of children in that family. Honestly, if I tell you what I'm thinking, what I'm going through, what I pass through every day, oh God, you will know that life is too short to live anyhow, to take anything for granted, especially your relationship. You know, sometimes when I talk like this, I have proofs, evidences, lives that has been through some of the things I talk about. I don't like to let people not know that the things that are happening are real. It's not that Bimoro Aroso or maybe I went to package. No. Today, I have a guest in the house. No name, no face, no identity. She has a story, she has a life. She's lived a script that she didn't plan to write. She's dancing to a music she does not know who is playing the rhythm. You know, when you are living a story that you don't want to live, when you are living a life tó ń gbégbé sí ayé tí ṣe pé nǹkan tó fẹ́ àbí nǹkan tó fẹ́ kọ tàbí nǹkan tó fẹ́ ṣe, but tí erin méjì bá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ wàhálà ayé wọn, gbogbo ẹ̀yin òbí tẹ́ ń gbọ́ mi lé ní ẹ jẹ́ listen. And that's why I'm sure some of you have been hearing the promo of dynamic parenting webinar. I don't know how you are going to do it though. When they raised us as children, it wasn't as bad as this. There's no pornography. There are no drugs. There is no burning of tire because of petrol. There is no burning of tire because of naira. There is no pressure at home. You know how many children are under pain now and pressure because of the situation in Nigeria alone, as I'm talking to you. Apart from that, when a soul is in pain, they don't take water. They use something to medicate that pain that is in their soul. So when you said to your son or your daughter, kò sí náírà o, kò sépo, and she goes out there and meet her friends and they are taking drugs or shisha or they are partying, you don't know how the money came, you don't know what happened, shey they will not be influenced ni? We are living in a generation that is hard, difficult to raise children. If you have the privilege of a little bit of information, you will know better, you will live better, you will have a better result, and you will not regret your old age. I've said it before. Your health is your marriage. Your wealth is your marriage. Your happiness is your marriage. Jaga jaga jugu jugu jaga jaga jamo 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 jamo. You will not jama jama jamo jamo. The old age when you are supposed to sit down and one child is stretching your leg, the other one is massaging your knees, they are now in prison or they are in the husband's house that is beating them, or in a home that she has she married somebody that is not even responsible. You don't want to live like that. You can't continue like that. That's why join me as I teach you to raise a 21st century children. We are resuming on the 25th of February. Ẹ lọ wo kàlẹ́ndà yín bá kẹ́ wojọ́ tí 25th bọ́ sí o, Saturday ni o. Ẹnìkan ní presidential election. Ẹ jẹ́ jáṣí election future wa nulẹ̀ wa. It's in the evening, 7 to 8 p.m. only on Saturdays for 4 weeks. 25th of February. Send me a text or WhatsApp. It's a WhatsApp because it's a webinar. Distance is not a barrier. Any part you are from in the world, you can join us and learn wisdom. So the number to WhatsApp is +234 90 2010 1080. +234 90 2010 1080. Any part of the world you are listening to me from, you can be part of it. Just send text to that number and tell me you're interested in dynamic parenting webinar. I will let you know and give you all the necessary information. Few days to go. It's going to be awesome. Hey, at least I'm doing dynamic parenting webinar. Now I'm giving you a perfect example of what parenting does to a child. This evening, this afternoon, this morning, this night, whatever, I don't know the time you're listening to me on She Matters. Hear me and hear me clearly. Today I have a guest in the house. I said no name, no face, no identity. I'm keeping her name, her face, and her identity. But she's seen a lot in her life because of the way she was raised. You need to meet this woman. Beautiful in and out. Well behaved, well mannered, but she has suffered. Potentially loaded, but she's been through hell because of parenting. Mo ní àlejò ní ilé agodo ní orí ètò yìí lénìí. Torí tí n bá ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ fáwọn èèyàn, wọ́n máa ń rò pé àsọdùn mi pọ̀. Mi ì dẹ̀ kí n ṣàsọdùn torí pé kí ni? Kò sí nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ gbà láti fi nǹkan kún nǹkan. tí n bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ mo máa ń fi òye sọ ni. Ẹni tí mo gbé wá sórí ètò lénìí tá a bá parí ẹ̀ lénìí a tún tẹ̀síwájú ńjọ́ mẹ́jọ. Torí ìdílé wọ́n ti la oríṣiríṣi kọjá ká má fi àkókò ṣòfò. I'm going to welcome her to the studio. Welcome. It's been a while that I've had the privilege of listening to your story. A máa ma sọ Yorùbá àtòyìnbó ni but òyìnbó náà ló máa pọ̀ jù. Mo ti sọ fáwọn olólùfẹ́ mi pé kán máa pe àwọn èèyàn láti máa gbìfọ̀ fún wọn láti jẹ́ kán lè gbọ́ nǹkan tá à ń sọ. So ẹ jọ̀ọ́ tá a bá ń sọ òyìnbó púpọ̀ jù ẹ má bínú torí pé kí ni àkúkú rọ́jọ́ solókun. But mo fẹ́ kí kán sọ, of course mo ní àní fojú wọn hàn àdẹ̀ ní dárúkọ wọn. Kán sọ ìtàn ayé wọn fún wa kó lè yé yín gbogbo atótónu mi látijọ́ pé ẹ̀yin erin méjì tẹ́ ẹ̀ ń jà koríko á jìyà. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ sọ àwọn ìrírí yín fún wa. Tell us your story lórí ètò yìí lénìí. Ẹ máa sọ tẹ́ bá ń sọ tó bá kásìkò bóyá kí n sọ̀rọ̀ máa sọ̀rọ̀ ṣùgbọ́n tí ò bá tásìkò nítorí àkókò a máa sáré máa ṣe. A tún continue níjọ́ mẹ́jọ tá a bá parí ẹ̀ lénìí. Ẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ yín.
So ìgbà tí mo wà ní 7 years old ibi tèmi ti gbọ́n tí mo ti gbọ́n nínú ilé nìyẹn. So tí dáàdì mi bá ti jáde wọ́n máa ń dé ní òru bóyá bí 1 lóru or 2 gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n ò ṣàárán wọ́n ń kí ẹ̀ pé àwọn fi anybody lẹ̀ sínú ilé. So tán bá ti dé nígbà yẹn room and parlour là ń lò, ìkan fún sitting room ìkan fún yàrá then bed kan ló wà ń bẹ̀. So anytime tán bá ti ń bọ̀ nílé wọ́n máa gbóbìnrin wá lè ṣe àwọn méjèèjì àtijọ́ mu tí yó àwọn obìnrin tán máa ń gbà yẹn ibì kan wà tán máa ń lọ ń gbà yẹn wọ́n ní night club kan ó ní nǹkan tán pè ń gbà yẹn. So tán bá ti wá dé wọ́n máa lé mọ́mì mi àti èmi sílẹ̀ lẹ̀. So táwọn àti girlfriend wọ́n máa sùn sórí bed with 40 ìgbájú náà dẹ̀ máa fi lé mi àti mọ́mì mi sílẹ̀ lẹ̀ wípé ká sùn sí ilẹ̀ lẹ̀. So tán bá ti wá fẹ́ lọ tọ̀ ní òru wọ́n á máa dá wa kọjá lọ tọ̀ lóru ni. Ìgbà míì gan tó bá wù wọ́n máa lé wa dà sí passage face me and face you ní àwọn ilé yẹn bọ̀ room and parlour bẹ̀ là wá ń gbé. Ó lè jẹ́ passage la máa sùn ó lè jẹ́ neighbor ló máa lọ tọ̀ lóru ló máa ní mọ́mì lágbájá ẹ máa bọ̀ wá sí ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn then wọ́n máa nà wọ́n gbà mí ojú máa wú gbogbo ẹ̀. Àmì ìwà kó tó di pé mọ́mì mi wá sí ìlú ibi tán ti fẹ́ dáàdì mi yìí because mọ́mì mi nìkan ni obìnrin tí dáàdì tí wọ́n bí tí mọ́mì wọn bí fún dáàdì wọn. Ìgbà tí dáàdì mi máa lọ mú wọn ní ilé wọn grandpa mi yẹn bàbá mọ́mì mi sọ fún dáàdì mi pé ẹjọ́ typist school ni ọmọ yìí ń lọ o pé àwọn ò dẹ̀ tí ready láti fi fún ọkọ àwọn fẹ́ kó parí typing kìíní yẹn. So dáàdì mi dẹ̀ ní kò sí problem àwọn máa lọ continue ẹ̀ níbi táwọn ti fẹ́ wọn sí. So ìgbà yẹn.
Ìgbà tí dáàdì yín fẹ́ mọ́mì yín.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mà.
Wọ́n fẹ̀tọ̀ fẹ́ wọn náà ni pé
wọ́n máa lọ ṣe ìkọ́ tí bàbá yẹn ṣe fún lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ní school.
You are hearing me, you are very young. You are young, you are not married. You are getting into a relationship. Ṣé ń gbọ́ o tí ì tó nǹkan, o tí ì kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tán, o tí ì kàwé tán. So ilé ọkọ ló kàn. Ẹlòmíà wá bá mi, I'm just 20, I'm 22. Can I have a boyfriend? I'm 18. I will tell them, are you a graduate? Are you a professor? Are you a doctor? Get to do something. Ó gbẹ̀yìn teenagers tẹ́ ń gbọ́ mi. If you hear this story, continue.
So wọ́n ṣàmú ọ wá sí Ìbàdàn ìgbà tán máa dé Ìbàdàn àti iṣẹ́ àti school tán ní kán máa ṣe wọn ò bá wọn ṣe mọ́ wọn ò fún wọn ní owó kankan pé bóyá kán bẹ̀rẹ̀ business. Mọ́mì ṣáà wà ń lé bọ̀ ìgbà míì àwọn ìtòṣojú mi ń gbà yẹn.
Ẹ tó bá ti ń kánjú lábẹ́ ahọ́n àbò ẹ̀yin ọmọ tẹ́ ń gbọ́ mi tẹ́ ń kánjú yìí I'm telling you don't be in a hurry, life is too short. Ìgbà wo lèèyàn ráṣọ tí ò fi wọlẹ̀ ẹ má sọ̀rọ̀ yín lọ jàre.
Ìgbà míì tán bá gbé omi kaná gan sí stove bóyá nínú kitchen tí dáàdì mi bá dé pẹ̀lú wàhálà wọ́n máa fi ẹsẹ̀ dá stove yẹn nù pẹ̀lú omi gbígbóná. Mọ́mì ṣáà wà ń bàdàn, but dáàdì mi a máa gbé girlfriend wálé. Mọ́mì ṣáà ṣe housewife, full housewife nígbà yẹn. So nínà ṣáà ni títí ìgbà tí mo wá pé bíi 8 wọ́n ti fẹ́ èèyàn kan tán sínú, wọ́n ti fẹ́ èèyàn kan wá lé mọ́mì mi gangan nínú ilé. So
ẹ sọ fún mi ẹni pé ìgbà míì ẹni tó fẹ́ wá yẹn
bẹ́ẹ̀
ṣé kán tó fẹ́ nìyẹn wọlé ni wọ́n jọ máa lọ dá yín kọjá lọ.
Àwọn ẹlòmíì nìyẹn wọ́n pọ̀ gan o, bọ̀ ìkan nínú wọn náà padà wá fẹ́, wọ́n máa ń dá wa kọjá àwa méjèèjì tó bá ti sùn tiwọn, bọ̀ tó bá bóyá wọ́n rò pa máa disturb àwọn lóru, wọ́n máa lé wa dà sí passage ẹnu ọ̀nà. So tí neighbor bá fẹ́ lọ tọ̀ lóru, neighbor ló wá mọ́mì lágbájá ẹ̀yìn àtọmọ níbí bá, torí mọ́mì ò ní sùn, wọ́n ṣáà máa lé ẹ̀fọn lára tèmi. So àwọn ẹni ẹ ló ṣe máa pò wọ́n wọlé pé àkáwọn wá sùn. Mọ́mì àwọn tún lè wọlé yín wá sùn sí bóyá ó jí nídàájí kò bá òun ní ẹnu ọ̀nà yàrá ibi tó lé òun sí, because she was a very gentle woman, just too gentle. So wọ́n ṣáà ń bá a lọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ìgbà tó wá ṣe díẹ̀ sí a ti wá gba ilé mi tó jẹ́ 3-bedroom flat nígbà yẹn wá kó lọ síbẹ̀. Ìgbà tá a máa débẹ̀ ẹni tán padà fẹ́ ti wá, ẹni tí dáàdì mi fẹ́ lé mọ́mì mi ti wá ní oyún gbà yẹn. Bọ̀ síbẹ̀síbẹ̀ nínà yẹn kò yàtọ̀. Ìgbà tó yá tí dáàdì mi bá ti na mọ́mì mi gan, woman yẹn láwọ́kọ́ máa di dáàdì mi mú, ọmọ tí máa nù ún náà gbà yẹn bọ́ wá máa di dáàdì mi mú pé stop kíní kan. So later kò pẹ́ wọ́n ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní na òun náà nìyẹn, wọ́n á tún máa gbé girlfriend wá. Oúnjẹ tí wọ́n sè sórí dining fún dáàdì mi, girlfriend àti dáàdì mi ló máa jọ jẹ. So mọ́mì mi ò tiẹ̀ kí ẹ̀ mọ́. So wọ́n ti ń gbé.
Wọ́n sọ nǹkan kan tá a ṣe máa yànnà ló ẹ̀ o. She said that the girlfriend that used to protect her mom, she has not started receiving her beating. Some of you that sit in somebody's home and you saw that this man loves me, he has a wife at home. If you break another woman's home, 1 million of women are waiting to break your own home. Life is so easy. You don't understand. A lot of people assume that oníyàwó ẹ̀ ò dání ni mo ṣe fẹ́fẹ́. Somebody was sending me a text. Mi tẹ̀ tí ìjẹ́ kó sọ́tàn mo ní wá oníyàwó mi ò dá, ìyàwó mi ṣe kinní kan ló ṣe lọ. I said you better find out kó tó wọ one chance. Continue.
So nínà yẹn ṣàojoojúmọ́ ni nínà. Gba tó yá mọ́mì mi dẹ̀ jẹ́ nìkan tó jẹ́ pé kò fẹ́ máa dúró sí ilé. I could remember then there's one plastic bowl báyìí tó jẹ́ pé kò ju nǹkan téèyàn lè fi ní láṣà bóyá èèyàn lè fi bomi fàlejò kó fi ṣanwọ́. Mọ́mì máa ṣe iṣu síbẹ̀, wọ́n á dín ata síbẹ̀, wọ́n á gbé sórí, wọ́n á kiri lọ. So èmi á ti lọ sí school mo ṣe ìgbà yẹn but torí dáàdì mi àti ìyàwó tuntun tó ń ṣe fẹ́ yẹn àwọn náà máa ń lọ, wọ́n á dé bọ̀ síbẹ̀síbẹ̀ wọ́n ti a máa gbáriwo nínú yàrá pàápàá, wọ́n á ti tilẹ̀kùn lẹ́yìn, wọn ò ní nà wá sí ibi tí àwa wà, wọ́n á máa nà nínú yàrá. Ìyàwó tó ń ṣe fẹ́ yẹn wọ́n á máa nà nínú ilé, wọn ò tí ì máa nà sí sáìdì ọ̀dọ̀ títí wa. So tèmi ni kí mọ́mì mi wọ́n wẹ̀ fún mi kí n lọ sí school.
Ọmọ ọdún mélòó ni torí à ń lọ bí kan ni.
Èmi ò tí wọ 10 ní gbogbo ìgbà tí mo sọ yìí because 7 ni mo ti gbọ́n gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yẹn. Then a lo ọdún kan lójú mi ní ilé face me and face you yẹn ìgbà tí wọ́n máa fẹ́ yàwó yẹn. So àti wá kó lọ síbòmíì gbogbo wa. So later my mommy refused to leave my daddy's house. My daddy's parents, not really his parents, maybe his family that were in the same place in Ibadan, in the same area. So the people now came, mommy Lagbaja, leave this man alone, don't let him kill you, because at times my mommy will run to that area, those people's place. So they will now follow my mommy in the morning to come and beg my dad, why are you beating this woman? You were the first man tí obìnrin kọ́kọ́ mọ̀, no kọ́kọ́ mọ̀ as ọkùnrin, so why are you now punishing her? So there was a time I was going to one school, so if I'm coming back, my mommy was now working with one woman that sells fufu, so she would turn fufu for her. I mean, I will go to school from there, so when I'm coming back from school again, I'll meet her there. So at times I'll see her eating fufu and fried fish.
Listen to me. Let me allow. It's good to vent. Maybe this is the first time in her life that she's sharing her story. A mọ̀ pé lórí afẹ́fẹ́ ó dàbí pé ó máa ń le díẹ̀ láti sunkún, ṣùgbọ́n tí wọ́n bá máa sunkún wọn sunkún náà ni. Mo fẹ́ kẹ́yìn èèyàn mọ̀ wípé ṣẹ́rí ẹ̀rí egbò ẹ̀rí ọgbẹ́ èèyàn sì ń sọ̀rọ̀ màmẹ́ ẹjọ́ ọmọ ọdún mélòó ni.
Mo ti pé 14 ní last year November.
That is 30 years of pain. Let me say this to everyone hearing me. When I insist that you do therapy, you do counselling, you treat your emotional wounds, you assume that kí lóbìnrin yìí sọ, egbò tí ò bá jiná ó máa máa kẹ́ ni. Any wound that is not treated will decay. Now let me say this. Some of you think mo ti dàgbà, I'm fine, me need therapy, me need counseling. You need it. If you are treating, if you have headache, you have stomachache, you had a broken foot or a fracture, and you don't treat it, will it heal? Your emotional life is as tangible as your physical body that you are treating every day, washing every day. Look at a 40-year-old woman who had an experience when she was 10, 11, 12. So she has carried the wound of trauma, pain, affliction by parenting. You will hear her story is long. Her children are with me here in the studio. Come and see what she had to go through. Please go ahead. Mo sọ fún yín pé o tí mi bá parí ẹ̀ lọ́sẹ̀ yìí mo ń padà bọ̀ lọ́sẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀, but you must understand what I'm saying practically. Ṣé àwọn pé tí wọ́n bá lọ school a ṣe theory a ṣe practical. This is practical. I'm sure you are following me. She will still talk. Mo rí i pé wọ́n sunkún ó dẹ̀ normal. Egbò tí ò bá jiná á máa ṣọyún ni. Ṣé rí ẹkún tó ń sun nínú program yìí mo ṣe máa padà lọ sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ dáadáa o. Ṣé àpé mo yan ni. I just said it briefly before we went for the break. I said it, but I'm still going to make reference to it. Go, because if you are in pain and you have wounds and you feel going to a doctor is a waste of money, by the time that ordinary headache turns to brain tumor or cancer of the brain, you will now spend more. So if you tell me that therapy is expensive, it is more dangerous and more delicate not to treat your emotional wounds. Your emotional life is tangible, is touchable. Go ahead, continue ẹ tẹ̀síwájú.
So if I'm coming from school, I will see my mommy eating ordinary fufu and fish, fried fish. You know, there's no soup there. She's working with a woman that's turning fufu to sell. Maybe in one barrack, I've forgotten. So after, if we leave that place, we go home. If we get home, we might not eat anything after what we have eaten in that place, because it is the new wife that is always cooking the food. So she might not even serve my mommy. So later, the woman too was not receiving beating, but she's not as gentle as my mom, because if my daddy hit that woman once, she will hit my daddy twice.
I'm saying it that sometimes as men, ẹ̀yin ọkùnrin ẹ gbọ́ mi o, I'm using her story as a case note torí ẹ̀mí ṣe kánjú. Listen to me. If you have not lived with another woman, you won't know that your wife is a saint. Yorùbá ní tẹ́ ò bá gbéglé ọkọ méjì kò ní mọ̀ pé áńgẹ́lì lòún fẹ́. Gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ náà lọkùnrin. If you are telling me now that my wife is bad, I hate my wife, she's I'll get another woman. Do you know who are you going to get married to? It's better you do post-marital counseling for you to raise a generation that will not curse you, that will not be suffering and go through this kind of torture. Please go ahead.
So they will start fighting. My mom will lock her own bedroom door at the back, so we sleep. In the morning again, if she has finished doing the house chores, she goes to barrack again while I go to school. So later, maybe when I was like 10, when I was exactly 10, that woman now gave birth to a boy. So
imagine in a home that is full of torture, another woman, you open your eyes. I'm using her as a case note. You open your eyes, Godogba, as a woman. A man brought you to his house, beating, she matters, is the program, beating the woman at home to the point of you holding the woman. Don't beat her again. And you open your brain. You went and marry that man and have children for that man, what are you thinking? I'm not blaming you. I'm not blaming you. This profession, we don't blame people. But it's a sign that you have no worth, you have no value, you don't have a self-esteem at all. If you have one, you will look at yourself and tell yourself, I'm better than this. I'm more than this. I cannot allow this. But who will give you self-worth when your parents too are dysfunctional? They are not happy. You saw orishirishi in the house. Hey, when I talk like this, I talk with a lot of pain and passion, because this generation, we are losing it seriously. Please go ahead with your story.
So later, my mommy-in-law came and tell my mommy, leave this house. So I know what my mommy went through. Enough beating. There was a day my daddy beat her to the extent that she fainted. So my daddy was putting on shoes. So when my mommy fainted, my daddy was still hitting my mommy. I thought you okay? Oh yeah, die now. You are not dead yet. Die. So I now ran to the second flat to call our neighbor. It was our neighbor that now poured water on my mommy. Our neighbor now faced my daddy. Do you want to kill her? Before she now it was then I knew they used to put spoon in someone's mouth when your body faint. Yes. Mm-hmm. So the woman now asked me, so yeah, bring spoon. So I rushed to the kitchen.
How old were you then?
I was 10.
10 years.
10 years old. Yes.
Chai, continue.
So the woman now put the spoon in my mommy's teeth. So thank God my mommy woke up again. So later my mommy left our house because that beating was too much, just too much. So she have to leave. So when she left, all the beating that my daddy used to beat my mommy now transferred to that second wife. So to the extent that my stepmother's ear, one ear is not one etí kan ló yẹ kéèyàn lù. So òun tí wọ́n bá ti ó máa wọ erin gúgú tó bá ti fẹ́ nà wọ́n á já. So ó ti lu etí dé òkè pátápátá.
You are talking about the second woman.
Second woman. My mommy has gone because of the beatings. It was my daddy's family.
Left the house.
Yes.
And dropped you there.
Yes, because my mom wanted to take me, but my daddy refused.
Hey. Because
my daddy told my mom, if you take this girl away, she's going to die, because that's their own culture. You don't take their children away from them. That the child might fall sick and go from there.
Okay, exactly. So she's afraid of the diabolical part of where wọ́n gbọ́mọ wa lọ tó bá ti gbọ́mọ yẹn ló máa kú ni, and who wants to have a child that would die? Can you imagine?
So
I'm not supposed to be easy, no, but I don't know where that ease came from. Well, I'm a mother too, and I'm a grandmother, and I have children. God have mercy. Continue, man.
I was now left alone in the house with my daddy and my stepmom and the little boy the woman had then. So later, if my daddy is beating that woman, so there was a day he was beating the woman. Even that boy, when the boy was crawling, the day my daddy beat that woman, the woman ran downstairs. So my daddy now it was raining heavily on that day. My daddy now took that baby that is crawling, that our own son. My daddy now took that boy downstairs. I remember that was what made me to cry that time. I was now sitting on them because my daddy chased me inside. I should leave that boy, little baby with just napping on him then. So my daddy took him downstairs inside the rain and dropped the boy there.
For who?
It's because his mommy has left, because his mommy purposely left that boy and ran away for her life.
Now the point is, wow, what I'm thinking is very simple. Is your daddy under drugs or influence?
No, but he drinks a lot. He can finish. Then it was Gouda I used to take. He can finish 1 carton of Gouda.
Any man that makes himself a slave to alcohol or to any form of substance, is addicted to alcohol. Addiction is addiction, whether to sex, to drugs, to marijuana, any form of substance is addiction, because I'm feeling compassion for your daddy, because a normal person will not be behaving like that. So if you are hearing me and you're struggling with any form of addiction, addiction is a family system problem. Something dropped on me this week. Your gift will open doors for you. Your gift will give you job, but addiction will take it away from you. Have you ever seen somebody that went to work and he gets drunk every day? Can he keep his job? They can't. So don't tell me I'm talented. Have you seen great people with great serious potentials? Great serious. Don't write it in jam. I'm just saying it the way it comes to me. And the person had to lose his job. I'm a sexual addiction therapist. I have a case of a man that works in London, but he has sexual struggle. He was now in a particular place. He was working as a teacher in school. Guess what the guy did? He was masturbating and the children saw him. They deported him straight to Nigeria. He is on a red flag, black flag, red list of them in England today. He can't go back to England. He has lost. He's a citizen, but he was a threat to the society, so they drove him away. That is what addiction does. The moment you're addicted to anything, you're going to lose your family, you're going to lose your health, you're going to lose your wealth. A man that is addicted to alcohol is living on a borrowed time on his health. I told you in one of the episodes that when you see a man that is on drugs, is a madman that is about to get naked. Simple English. So whatever it is that is eating you up as I'm talking to you now, and is messing up your future, your children, cry out now. If you have to go to rehab for 6 months, 1 year, go seek help, because it will still bounce back and mess up your life. Continue, madam.
So immediately went downstairs and dropped the baby, because so he now came upstairs. He now locked the door. I was even thinking, if he did not lock the door, I would go downstairs and take that child. So I was crying bitterly. I now sat down on the dining table. So I was in the dining room. I was now crying. So when he saw me crying, he was now saying, he told me on that day, he said, "Why are you crying? Why are you crying? The woman that sent your mommy away, you are crying because I'm beating her." So immediately he took a glass cup from the dining and broke it. So he tore my cheek here. The mark is still on my cheek here.
I see the mark. Her own father. Do you know that your father is your hero? A father takes you further and faster in life. The mark of your father broke bottle. You have not heard anything. We are gathering momentum on this thing. Tí gbọ́n kankan. Bàbá ẹ̀ mú go, ó fi ya apá yẹn ṣì wà lẹ́kẹ̀ẹ́ o. Now imagine a physical scar. What about mental, emotional, psychological scars that is inflicted in this beautiful woman's soul, and is a matter of time? She will tell you her story. I'm happy that you are hearing from the horse's mouth, because sometimes a lot of people think some of these things are just aroso ito. This is life. Go ahead.
So immediately he told me thick blood was rushing out, so nobody to run to. So it dried off itself. So the baby now, what even make me cry, because I was not even thinking maybe my mom was sent out because of the woman, but I still have pity on that baby. So the baby now crawl from downstairs. The baby was still crawling. He came upstairs and started hitting the door and crying. So I could not hold it. So I have to pass through the back.
Whole child, that's life. Probably there's another president, another governor, another engineer. Listen, men in the house and women hearing me. Don't bring children to this world that will curse you for bringing them here. Sherry, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń gbọ́ mi, ẹ má gbé ọmọ wá sáyé kán wá máa fi ègún lé yín lọ́jọ́ iwájú. Ọ̀ràn kan náà fi ń bímọ o. Odindi gómìnà nìyẹn o. Ẹ wá sọ pé àwọn òṣèlú àwọn tó ń ṣòṣèlú wọ́n ń ṣe nǹkan tí ò dáa. Ẹ ní àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké fẹ́ ṣe yahoo. Ẹ láwọn ọmọ kéékèèké fẹ́ ṣe olóṣó. Kí lẹ̀ ń sọ yìí? Níbo náà ti fẹ́ bẹ́tà? Ṣé irú ọmọ tí wọ́n ti traumatize láti kékeré ọmọ ọdún kan tó bá máa fi jáde báyìí ó lọ mú nǹkan nìyẹn. ìtorí ẹ̀ nínú iṣẹ́ yìí a tó bẹ́ẹ̀ láti máa sọ pé ó ṣe ṣe báyìí. Yorùbá ní dídà ló dà tọmọdẹ́gbẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlé ọmọ. Life, circumstance, situation òun ló ń truncate life àwọn èèyàn. Ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀ yín lọ àkúkú ní pẹ́ kúrò á padà wá ńjọ́ mẹ́jọ àtúnkọ̀ sí.
So I was the one taking care of that boy. Me, the boy, and my daddy was the one staying alone. So because the woman has gone to her auntie's place within Ibadan, she has gone. So the second day she came to carry her own mattress and some of her clothes. So that was when my daddy was not around. So I was not telling her, take this baby. She said no, she's not breastfeeding him again. That she's going to leave the boy. So she now left.
Now the point is that the person irú ẹni tó bírú ọmọ yẹn ṣé ìyá nìyẹn? Are you a mother or a murderer? You carry a baby for 9 months. Now don't tell me my husband is beating me, I'm struggling. I'm not saying you are not struggling. But tó o bá ready mi fẹ́ sọ Yorùbá yẹn. If you are not ready, you should not be ready for having sex. Simply. That's the only way I can put it. It's not fair. Go back. You are listening to me now. You are now telling me that your son, your daughter cannot remember you. But kí ló gbìn síbẹ̀ tó fi máa rántí ẹ̀? As you lay your bed, you rely on it. Iṣẹ́ wo ló ṣe fún ọmọ láti take care ní old age? Láti tọ́jú ẹ̀. Now ẹ̀yin ọmọ tẹ́ ń gbọ́ mi tó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ mi sọ pé mo ò fún yín ní liberty for not being good to your parents. Mo ń kọ́ àwọn èèyàn lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. You know I'm a balanced person. Ẹ tẹ̀síwájú ká tètè máa kóra wa lọ.
Okay. Èmi ni mò ń tọ́jú ọmọ yẹn nígbà yẹn. Èmi náà kéré nígbà yẹn. I was 10. That baby was, I think 6 months, 6 to 7 months. So ní ọ̀sán nígbà míì tí dáàdì mi bá ti jáde, obìnrin yẹn máa yọ wálé.
Màmá ọmọ yẹn.
Màmá ẹ̀ ó máa yọ wálé. At times ó lè ṣe oúnjẹ tí a máa jẹ. Ó lè ṣe oúnjẹ fún èmi àtọmọ yẹn. A tún lọ, á ní kí n má sọ fún dáàdì mi pé òun wá sílé o. Ó ti má dẹ̀ ń lọ sí school gbà mí máa gbé ọmọ yẹn torí public school náà fi mí sí. Public school kò kàn wọ́n tó nígbà yẹn tó bá o lè gbé ọmọ bébì wá. Màá kàn gbé ọmọ yẹn sílẹ̀ á máa ṣeré lórí field. So ebi window ni màá jókòó sí. A máa tún ti lọ fún break. A tún máa bá ṣeré mi àti àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ àwọn ọmọ kíláàsì mi. So later, so ìgbà yẹn àwọn apprentice dáàdì mi náà wọ́n máa ń wálé. Àwọn náà máa wá bá èmi àtọmọ yẹn fọ aṣọ ìgbà míì. So
iṣẹ́ wo tẹ̀ ní dáàdì yín ṣe?
Engineer ni wọ́n máa ń ṣe àwọn generator ńláńlá yẹn bí àwọn engine tó ń ṣe ní Trans Amusement Park ńgbà yẹn àwọn náà máa ń ṣe gbogbo ńgbà yẹn.
So he has gifts, he has talent. He now murdered it on the altar of alcohol. Wọ́n ní iṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́ tó jẹ́ pé irú iṣẹ́ tó ní lọ́wọ́ yẹn lè sọ wọ́n di millionaire láìpẹ́ láì jìnnà. Wọ́n ti wá ra gbogbo block, gbogbo assets, gbogbo ilé tó yẹ kán rà àti mọ́tò tó yẹ kán rà àti ogún tó yẹ kán filẹ̀ fáwọn ọmọ. Wọ́n ti dà sí bí apalọ̀. You are hearing me today. Àròjọ́ musolókun. I'm bringing back my guest. You cannot afford to continue like this. Hey. Ìgbà ò tán lọ bí òréré. There is no time. Time is short. There is no time at all. Anytime you sit down and you open yourself to yourself, Yorùbá ní tó bá kọjú sí ẹ kó tá, tó bá kẹ̀yìn sí ẹ kó tá, tó bá ti kù wọ́ nìkan tún ọ̀rọ̀ ara ẹ̀ rò. Orí ibẹ̀ la wà lénìí tí mo fẹ́ fi máa lọ lé. Because tí o bá ṣe yẹn kó wò pé ask yourself simple question. Èmi máa ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ ara mi Olúfúnkẹ́. Ìgbé ayé tó ń gbé yìí níbo ló fẹ́ já sí? The way you are doing your life now, how is it going to end? Ẹ jẹ́ sọ tó tọkàn fún mi, mo fẹ́ jẹ́wọ́ ni o, mo fẹ́ jẹ́wọ́ ara mi. mo wo iṣẹ́ mi bó ṣe pọ̀ lemọ́lemọ́ ń sìn, mo pé Fúnkẹ́ ṣé ọjọ́ tó bá wá tún dàgbà jù báyìí lọ ńkọ́, mo ti ń ronú ẹ̀ lẹ̀ bóyá kí n máa reduce ẹ ní o, bóyá kí mo ṣáà rò nǹkan tí mi máa ń ṣe fúnra mi nìyẹn. Your work, you are getting too busy, your work is much, you have a workload so much, this that. How are you going to do it when you are 80? I'll be 60 on the 7th of August this year. What happens next? And this is not a negative thought, but mo ti rò ọjọ́ iwájú, mo ti rò 10 years. That is the way any reasonable person that has common sense should think. What will happen now, the way I'm living my life tomorrow? Don't get me wrong. What will happen now, the way I'm living my life tomorrow? Kí ló fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ ńsìn bí mo ṣe ń gbé ìgbé ayé mi ní ọjọ́ iwájú mi? There's nothing like tomorrow. Everybody's tomorrow starts today. And if you have that at the back of your mind, iyán á di àtúngún, ọbẹ̀ á di àtúnsè. You are hearing me now. You know your children will never love you in the future because you didn't do anything for them to love you. Whether you're a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. Then you can gbé àlùbọ́sà kó kẹ́fọ̀ọ́ because there's no memory of love, there's no memory of care, there's no memory of affection. The only memory you have of them or they have of you is abuse, beating. A man will beat a woman that all the hearing will be off. She will not be poking her ears in different parts of her ears because the hair hole has removed. Excuse me, I'm pained, I'm sad. I didn't want to cry when she was crying, but I was crying. Think about your life. Think about your life. Please, as you are listening to me now, follow me on Instagram. My handle is funkeadetuberu. That Instagram and my YouTube channel is a university of life. I am as practical as it is because when you have knowledge, you are delivered. Ẹlòmíì á rò pé ègún ìdílé ló ń bá òun jà, kò mọ̀ wípé ègún àìmọ̀ ló ń bá òun jà. If you go to my Instagram, you can click on my bio on the Instagram and come in for therapy and counseling for your future to be better. Some of you know, as you are hearing me now, that tomorrow is not it. It's unfortunate, but it is not too late to start afresh. God is a writer of history. God is a story changer. God can do a new thing in your life. I'm not telling you to come and be religious, no. In my profession as a therapist, as a counselor, we don't impose religion. But I'm just telling you that there is a God somewhere that reigns and rules in the affairs of men. Wow, I want to say a very big thank you to you. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Mom.
We are going to be back next week again. On behalf of Dr. Yinka Jola-Ifele, the power, the ego or igwe of Fresh FM Nigeria, I want to say a very big thank you to all our listeners. You have issues, you want me to help you, send me a text. Please, I don't pick calls, no matter what. Send me a text or WhatsApp or voice note to this number 080-232-42389. 080-232-42389. I appreciate you for listening to me. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week.